Imperial Garden, Your Majesty. This consort greets Your Majesty. No need for the formalities. Setting aside everything else, this empress truly deserves to be seen by all the citizens of the Great Xia for her beauty. Oh, likely a spy sent by the other side. She's putting on an act here. My belief is simply too beautiful. Your Majesty, please be mindful of your image to avoid stirring gossip among the crowd. Do I need to care about others' opinions when I dote on my beloved? Thinking only of intimate moments, does that count as affection? That's just lewdness. If you want to make things easier for concubine Zhou, then you should behave yourself. But with such a lovely scenery before you, Your Majesty, would you consider painting a picture for me? Painting? This kind of refined art is beyond someone like me, a mere wastrel. My beloved, aren't you afraid that if I write my poem too passionately, it will only make the other concubines in the harem envy you even more? I've seen the works of those talented scholars from Great Xia, so Your Majesty shouldn't be too confident. Then please take a look, my beloved, and see who is able to write better. Don't underestimate the bond one have with my 9 years of compulsory education. A glance and a smile, 100 charms arise, the beauty of the 6 palaces pales in comparison. Your Majesty, your praises are making me blush. This guy seems so carefree, but who would have thought he could write such beautiful verses? There's no better line throughout history to describe a woman's beauty than this. It's done. Please take a look, my beloved. Your Majesty is so skilled, completing it effortlessly in one go. Could it be that Your Majesty often writes such flowery, romantic poems for women? How could that be? I was inspired only by your beauty. The way the Empress pouts like that is truly irresistible. Good to know. Your Majesty, you must be tired from writing. Let me give you a massage. Her attitude changes faster than turning a page. Consort Bai has arrived. Greetings, Your Majesty. You may rise. Your Majesty, are you admiring the flowers with Sister Zhou? Thankfully, Sister Zhou is fine. What else? Do you think we are just daydreaming? Perfect timing, little sister. Come, let's admire the poem His Majesty wrote for me. His Majesty wrote a poem for sister? 3,000 beauties, yet only one is favored. Which concubine wouldn't be moved by such words? Sister must be enchanted by this dog emperor's sweet words. Little sister, have you finished reading? I'd like to have another look. Sister, you? Sigh, such a beautiful love poem, but sadly, there's only one. She's really getting into it. Is she hinting at me? Since my beloved likes it, I shall write another one. Well done, I'll be sure to thank you properly tonight. Thank me? How does she plan to show her gratitude? It's over. Sister Zhou has become infatuated with the nonsense written by this dog emperor. She'll definitely serve him devotedly, and be at his mercy. Clouds wish for robes, flowers long for beauty, the spring breeze gently sweeps the rails, with dew shimmering bright. Had we not met atop the Jade Mountain, we would have crossed paths beneath the moon on the Yao Terrace. Your Majesty praises me too highly. How could I be so beautiful? No, only such verses can truly express how I see my beloved in my heart. How infuriating! How does this dog emperor have such great literary skills? He composes poetry so effortlessly. What will Sister Zhou do from now on? No, I must save her from this misery. Sister, don't believe him. He's using these insincere verses to seduce you so that you'll be completely devoted to him. Insincere? Your Majesty, is what Sister Ling said true? It seems my beauty doesn't deserve such praise. It looks like Sister still believes me. Since Sister Ling doesn't believe, then shall punish His Majesty to write 10 more poems until Sister Ling acknowledges that His Majesty is truly sincere. Oh no, it's over, Sister is becoming even more infatuated. What should I do? I will never grow tired from writing poetry for you, my dear. How could I refuse? Your Majesty, I've heard that His Majesty is admiring the flowers with the sisters here. Juana brought over some snacks. I'm sorry for disturbing your time. Little sister arrived just in time. His Majesty must be hungry after writing so many poems. Little sister? This Zhou Jinwei really thinks of herself as the queen of the harem. I've heard that your snacks are exceptional. I've been watching to try them for quite some time. It really does taste great. I'm incredibly honored to receive your praise, sister. Those were meant for His Majesty. You're really quite bold. Your Majesty should take a moment to rest and try the pastries little sister brought. Thank you for personally feeding me the pastries, my beloved. How outrageous. The pastries I painstakingly prepared are now being used by her to gain favor. His Majesty loves the pastries Wana brought. Last time, he didn't leave a single one. Since big sister likes them too, next time, I can send them directly to your chambers. Just be sure not to take His Majesty's portion, or he might go hungry. Why is the tension suddenly rising? All I want right now is to return to the palace and rest. I've been wanting to ask you about the recipe for these pastries. I wonder if you could kindly teach me? Big sister wants to learn to make pastries to better serve His Majesty. How could I refuse? How do I handle this situation? Knowing full well that it was made by a palace maid, yet still trying to make me look bad on purpose. Earlier, you mentioned that His Majesty was writing poetry. What kind of poem was it? May I see it? Of course. Little sister, come quickly and see the poem His Majesty wrote for me. A girl from the Shou family comes of age, raised in seclusion, unknown to the world. With natural beauty hard to hide, one day chosen to stand by the king's side. Is this really written by His Majesty? I never imagined His Majesty possessed such remarkable talent, and has kept it hidden all this time. Why has His Majesty never written such beautiful verses before? Could it be? This was specially written for me. I'm sorry to have embarrassed you, sister. His Majesty truly wrote it for her? Such a stunningly beautiful poem, such a talented emperor. Only I, the most beautiful woman in the capital, Luo Wana, am worthy of it. Your Majesty, could you write a poem for Wana as well? This. Let me think about it. Your Majesty need not worry, I have plenty of poems here. I can share some with Sister Wana. What do you think, Your Majesty? The oppressive aura around her, if I were to give it to Consort Luo, it might not end well for me tonight. That's not right. These poems are specifically for my beloved consort. You should keep them well. Dear little sister, I'm truly sorry. Since His Majesty doesn't agree, there's nothing I can do. What are you saying, big sister? These poems are personally written for you by His Majesty. How could I possibly take them away? It's just that His Majesty is too partial, giving big sister so many poems while not willing to give even one to Wana. Little sister Wana, don't overthink it. His Majesty has just composed so many timeless verses for me, he must be tired now. Therefore, it's only natural that his inspiration is drained, and can't write any more for now. Your Majesty, you must be so exhausted. Let me give you a massage. Yes, I am indeed drained. I've used up all my inspiration. Sister really has some great icks. I'll take my leave. How dare she step on my foot? Your Majesty, on this long and endless night, why not compose a few more poems? I've overexerted my mind today, and can hardly come up with any good verses. Could it be that Your Majesty is reserving his ink for the most beautiful woman in the capital, Consort Luo? You're overthinking it, my beloved. I have no intention of writing poems for Consort Luo. In my eyes, you are a rare beauty of a millennium. That so-called first beauty of the capital is only fit to carry your shoes. I'm sure Your Majesty says the same to others, claiming that I'm only fit to carry their shoes. Of course not. My beloved is the one I have chosen to be my empress. That's more like it. It's getting late, Your Majesty. After reviewing the memorials, you should rest early. I'm tired and going to sleep. Wait, my beloved. You mentioned earlier today that if I wrote a few more poems, you would reward me tonight? Did I? Did I really say that? I'm so exhausted that I can't quite remember. Then, my beloved, take your time to recall. It's been days since I last had the pleasure of watching your dance. You tricked me into writing poetry all afternoon. Don't think you can just brush it off. It's getting late, and I'm truly too tired to move anymore. So, when it comes to poems, the night stretches on endlessly, but when it comes to dancing, it's suddenly too late? Didn't you say a ruler should keep their word? Then, my beloved, please rest well. I shall begin my work now. Never mind, I can't be bothered to argue with you. It's more important to check if there are any new memorials regarding the Su family case. Your Majesty should also take care of your health and rest early. What's going on? This is my beloved trying to make it up to me? Calm down, it's just a kiss. I, Su Changqing, have seen far more than this. Your Majesty still have any dissatisfaction? How could there be? I have received my beloved's heartfelt gesture, and I am truly thankful. That's good. Your Majesty shouldn't forget to attend the morning court tomorrow. What? I knew it, things aren't that simple. Long live the Emperor! Long live for 10,000 years! This servant has heard that while admiring the flowers yesterday, Your Majesty composed a verse of extraordinary brilliance, especially the line, a glance, a smile, 100 charms arise, the beauty of the 6 palaces pales in comparison, is destined to be remembered for centuries. Even as a former top scholar, I could never reach such heights. I am truly in awe. You overpraise me, Prime Minister. It was just a simple verse, meant to please the consort. Spreading so quickly? Could it be that Dong Gong Jinyu is the one who leaked it? Or is it the Prime Minister has eyes and ears everywhere, even in the palace? However, I believe that if these romantic poems were to spread among the public, it could impact Your Majesty's reputation. The commoners will think that Your Majesty is indulging in consort Zhou's beauty all day and neglecting the morning court. This servant proposes that consort Zhou be expelled from the palace. Didn't I make myself clear yesterday? Writing poetry is my personal affair, and I'll write for whoever I want. It's none of your business. Whoever dares to mention expelling consort Zhou again, I'll be the first to expel them from the court. How delightful! Anyway, I have no plans to return. Let Dong Gong Jinyu handle this mess herself. Prince Xian, how is the Su family case progressing? What is your plan to quell the rumors among the people? Your Imperial Highness need not worry. I've instructed the Baihu envoy of the Jinyui to reinvestigate the case, and we will soon have a report for you. Again, the Baihu envoy? It seems I must personally visit the Jinyui. Useless. Until now you still haven't captured that little bastard, Su Changqing? If this matter isn't handled properly, how will the 5th prince place his trust in me? Lord Baihu, the prince invites you to the courtyard across for a chat. Baihu of the Jinyui greets the prince. How is the situation progressing? Please rest assured, Your Highness. I will certainly capture Su Changqing by today, ensuring it does not affect tomorrow's execution. Execution? Your Highness, please forgive me. I had an unexpected slip-up earlier, but I assure you this time I will eliminate the Su family completely, leaving no future troubles. So, the task assigned to him by the Donggong Yanzhou was to eliminate the Su family, ensuring there would be no evidence left to investigate. Here are the confiscated assets from the Jiang family of Huainan, which have been thoroughly dealt with. The silver is all accounted for and can be used at any time. Please have a look, Your Highness. In no time, the wealth of the Deng family's gambling house will be effortlessly secured. So, it turns out that Donggong Yanzhou is using the Jinyui to amass wealth, and it's not a scheme by competitors to frame her. These scoundrels. Good job. In that case, I'll give you another chance. What are your orders, Your Highness? On the day of the Su family's execution, I want you to present evidence of their wrongful accusation to help clear their name. Why, Your Highness? Are you changing the plan? Don't you want an opportunity? I'm giving you the most important one. If I want to convict the Su family, you will help clear their name. As long as you oppose me, you will gain the Emperor's trust and be favored by him. Your Highness means for me to take this opportunity to get close to the Emperor and act as your undercover agent? Smart. Once I achieve my goals, you will be the one to receive the highest merit. Rest assured, Your Highness, I will not let you down. Remember, from now on, only I will contact you. Do not contact me first. Understood, Your Highness, I'm back. Why isn't Dong Dong Jinyu here? Your Majesty, you're awake. Who visited during the day? Your Majesty, today many of the consorts visited. I followed your instructions and informed them that Your Majesty is unwell and needs rest, so they returned. Consort Shu even sent some of Your Majesty's favorite foods. Then, what about Consort Zhou? Consort Zhou did not come. She hasn't come all day. Could something have happened? Or perhaps she's secretly investigating? Consort Zhou's chamber. Phew, thankfully nothing has happened. But what is she up to? My beloved isn't coming to keep me company? What are you doing here then? This is my chamber, and I naturally rest here. Must I only be with you every night, Your Majesty? My beloved is now a thorn in the side of the other consort in the harem. I'm just worried that someone might harm you. Are you concerned about me, Your Majesty? I thought perhaps Your Majesty had someone else you were favoring tonight, so I didn't want to interrupt. So it's just because I haven't come to see her that she's upset? Seems I was overthinking it. In my eyes, you are the only one, my beloved. How could I not be concerned? My beloved, come back with me. Your Majesty, you not only write poetry but are also quite the smooth talker. Let's return to the palace, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, I'm feeling cold. Perhaps, my beloved, you should go back and put on a coat? No, I want Your Majesty to carry me back. Carry you? That might not be appropriate if others see. Your Majesty, you just said that there is only me in your eyes. All right. Come on up. Now, it's no longer cold. I'm curious, what did you do today, Your Majesty? I've been resting in my chambers since the court ended. Subsequently, many consorts came to visit, but I claimed to be unwell and refused to see them. Even when Consort Shu brought food, I didn't open the door. I've been waiting in my chambers for you all day, never once leaving, but unfortunately, Your Majesty still hasn't come. The moonlight tonight is like water, highlighting my beloved consort's beauty even more. Is Your Majesty intending to kiss me? Given the atmosphere, I hope my beloved will not refuse. Unless Your Majesty lets me see your true face, don't even think about it. So, you intended to use a beauty trap to lure me into revealing my true face? I won't fall for such a trick. My beloved, someone might see us here. Let's buy some time and delay for a bit. Then, Your Majesty, please carry me to a more secluded place. With no one else around, Your Majesty can be at ease. I just recalled that I have many memorials to attend to. I can't delay important matters. No matter, just a few memorials. I'll accompany Your Majesty later. Such a beautiful moment, and scenery. I simply wish to remain outside a bit longer with Your Majesty. My beloved, your beauty exceeds the moonlight by 100 times, so, does Your Majesty not wish to finish what we began earlier? Of course, which man could resist such a temptation? With a beauty like yours, my beloved, which man in the world wouldn't desire? As long as Your Majesty reveals your true face, I will fulfill your wishes. She seems quite determined to see my true face. How about I just change to a random appearance to deal with this? Your Majesty, this is my first time, so I hope it's with someone genuine. If I deceive with a fake face to steal a first kiss, wouldn't that make me no different from a scoundrel? My beloved, it's getting late. Let's return and rest. Your Majesty. Truly don't want to. It's not that, it's just that I'm afraid my ugly appearance might tarnish my beloved's beauty. Then what if? I don't mind? But I do mind. Aside from the magnificent beauty I possess now, I can't think of anyone else deserving of my beloved. All right, since Your Majesty does not wish to be honest with me, I shall not insist. Let's head back, Your Majesty. You should focus on reviewing the memorials properly. Seems like she truly doubts me. I need to resolve the Su family matter quickly and leave this place. I wonder how she would react if she knew my true identity? Also tomorrow, I'll attend court. You'll take on the role of Consort Zhou for the day and help soothe the other consorts in the harem. Consort Ling's chamber, Consort Zhou has arrived. I thought you'd forgotten about me, your little sister, after becoming good sister with Consort Xiang. How could I ever forget you, my dear sister Bai Ling? You've always been my closest sister. Those poems written by that dog emperor must have made you even more the target of jealousy, sister. One must always be cautious. Sister, why not stay with me for the time being? Well, we sisters can share a bed and chat all night long. What? Sharing a bed? Chatting all night? Well, it's not impossible. Why don't you try sleeping for a bit? Don't worry, my little sister. His Majesty has already taken precautions. Even if someone attempts to harm me, they won't succeed. All right, it seems I've been overthinking. Since His Majesty is so infatuated with you, I'm sure he won't let you be in any danger. Could it be, big sister, that you have truly fallen for that dog emperor? By the way, could you do me a favor, little sister? Certainly, sister, what is it? His Majesty is currently practicing abstinence. If I'm not in my chambers, it will likely raise suspicions among the other consorts, and they may seize the opportunity to create trouble. So if anyone asks why I'm not in my own chambers, please testify that I've been in your chambers the whole time. Don't worry, big sister, I'll definitely keep your secret. Bai Hu Donggong Yenja, the show is about to begin, isn't it? Big sister, I like you the most, Sister Zhou.